Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I am concluding my playthrough of Normandy 44. Yes indeed, we are finally up to turn 22. Let's see what happened. This is June 27th. Naval Arsenal in Cherbourg surrenders. Not sure that's going to happen. I'm guessing is that what this is supposed to represent, maybe? Not sure. In any event, doesn't look like Cherbourg is going to fall this game. All right, so let's jump right into the action. Excuse me. Oh, actually, before we do that, I mentioned that I wanted to get the current state of the end game victory conditions, just to kind of see where we're at and what both sides need to do to prevent the other from winning. So let's see, that's going to be in the campaign rules, I believe. Yep, so the Allies need 10 victory points at the end of the game. They get 1 victory point for each eligible town hex and 2 victory points for each eligible city hex they control and can trace a line of supply to. Only town and city hexes that are on the German side of the June 27th historical front line or within the Cherbourg perimeter count for VPs. And then the German player scores 1 VP for each town hex and 2 VP for each city hex on the Allied north side of the June 27th historical front line that is in German control, and the German player can trace a line of sight to a map edge entry hex. Cherbourg cannot be used as a supply source for this purpose. And I believe this was a change from the original rules. So they score no VPs for town and city hexes he controls on his side, south of the line, obviously. And then we deduct the German VPs from the Allied VPs to get the final total. And all the Germans have to do to win is prevent the Allied player from winning. So, just to confirm, we do have supply to the peninsula cut because there are no roads going up this way that they can get to these towns and cities up through here. They would basically have to, like, let's take an example, like this one, for example. It would have to go 5 hexes to get to a road, and that initial 5 hexes can go through EZOCs, vacant hexes in an EZOC, as long as it doesn't have to do 2 consecutive. But so theoretically, they could, like, for example, come through here 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they couldn't do that, and they couldn't do that because those are both. That's 2 adjacent hexes in EZOC. So they can't get to a road through here. They're on a road, but this road is obviously blocked here. So yeah, pretty much everything would have to come through either this opening here, which there's 2 consecutive EZOC hexes there, or down along this road, which is blocked. So they don't get to account any of these for victory points. They don't have any, other than that, they don't have anything north of the historical line that they've managed to hang on to. So basically they have 0 victory points. And the Allies have well over 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10 right there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think that's probably it. They managed to take this one back from us. Oh, 19 right there. Did I count that one already? I'm not sure. Anyway, well, more than 10. We've got a couple, I think 1 or 2, maybe it's just one town inside the perimeter that we have as well up here. So yeah, they're well above, well, they were at 5 at one point, but yeah, they're way, way beyond 10. So as it stands now, the Allies are in a position to win. The Germans' only hope is to reopen supply to the peninsula. And to be honest, I don't really see how that's going to be possible for them. But we'll go ahead and play it out. Yeah, so that's where things are on the victory conditions side. So let's play through this last turn here. Determine the weather. If it's clear again, the Germans are definitely, I think, out of luck. 3, oh, they got their overcast. So overcast 3, they will get, the Allies will get 1 air unit each, but they'll get to build 2 improved positions for whatever it's worth. I'm not even going to put them out. There's no point because they won't be completed. 2 supply points. Let's see. I guess we go 1 each. Yeah. 1 infantry replacement that can be spent on any infantry. Again, not really going to make a difference because that whatever unit gets it won't be able to attack this turn. I guess I could use it to try to help hold somewhere, but Americans get 1 infantry up to 8. 1 infantry for the British as well. And then, like I said, 1 air unit each and both naval units. There we go. All right, and we do get supply points, so 2 each. And we will get replacement points as well. Again, I think the Allies will probably just spend them on shifts this turn. All right. Ready all in supply headquarters and Warfare brigades. I don't think we used any Warfare brigades last turn. Again, another mistake by me. And there aren't any headquarters that moved more than 1 hex. So, German replacement phase. Where would they like this 1 infantry replacement to go? I think they're pretty well situated in Caen. Allies haven't, or the British haven't really been able to punch into there at all. They've got +1 troops, I think, in, yeah, they've got elite troops in every hex, so they can always succeed on a determined defense on anything but a 1. Actually, now with the, I remember this Werfer Brigade, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, if we moved them up a space, I guess we could. I don't think they don't count against stacking, do they? I don't remember. I don't think they do. But we can move them up a little closer to get them in range of that one as well. So yeah, where do we want? Now I need to keep in mind as well, we're going to have all of these units. Go ahead and move them over now. Coming in this turn. Sort of a last hurrah here. I don't think it's going to help them much though. Other than to potentially cause some grief in here, I think. Well, you know what? We forgot during the German supply phase, these guys are actually out of supply. Let's see. These guys are disrupted, so they can't take anything. Okay, up in there. What we're going to do here, probably just, well, they can only use tactical movement, so I guess they'll move to here to try to, that'll prevent them from getting too crazy down this way. If they get too far out, they'll be out of supply. Yeah, I don't know. This guy can't take one. I guess we could throw it to one of these units. Just bolster them up so they can't punch through here. Might need to. I don't know. We need to spread these guys out a little more. Get probably something in here. Maybe shift down to this hex. That'll allow them to go to here. But again, I don't know. With all these units here, I don't see how we can prevent them from cutting the supply to the peninsula, even if we do manage to push something back here. Yeah, I guess let's just go ahead and give it to this unit here. Even though he's a -1. I'll beef this up a little bit. All right, so that's that replacement spent. Then we can go to movement phase. So yeah, let's see what we're talking about here. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for the Germans here. I mean, I guess they try to attack here and But even, yeah, I mean, they just got all this stuff here. They're just going to be able to block the road. Yeah, I don't want to waste a lot of time muddling over this, so I guess let's just, I think these two guys can probably hold this hex by themselves, so the thing is they can't even get over to there. They only got 3 movement points. I guess we could send the, well, this one can. So we could get him to there. We can get the tank unit to there. And then we can get, this guy can only move 1 hex, so he'll just slide over that way. As will this one. Can we see 1, 2 would get him to there. So he could come stack with this guy in that hex. Then this moves into here. Just to just to form up a line there for whatever reason. So this entrenchment is completed. Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, if this were an actual game, I think the German player would just concede at this point, but we'll play out the turn. I guess down here, let's figure out what we want to do. And obviously we'll push these guys back up against the line here. These guys can go into there. Let's see, how far can these guys go? They only got 3 movement points, and there's no way to get across that river. So, guess we just push up into here. These could get around at all to help out over here, to help contain this unit. They've got 6 movement points, well, 6 and 5, so we'll go by the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's as close as they could get. They could use strategic movement and get to like here. Excuse me. One of them could. They can't be stacked together if they use strategic movement. Yeah, I think we push these guys into here. I guess if we get someone here and someone here, that would help. So this guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5.5, plus 2/3, whatever that is. 6 1/3, I think. Or 6 1/6, I don't know. I guess that, yeah, that's fine, because he's got 12 movement points if he uses strat move. Where are my Strap move markers. Good. And then this guy can get to here with a strap move. They'll at least try to bottle them up as if they were going to fight on beyond this turn. All right, now we got to try to rescue this foolhardy unit that went up and tried to take on a Sir Odin. These guys can go to here. Excuse me. Looks like these guys could move up to here and cut these guys off because now they've got a Zakban there. I believe, do I have supply units still? Project a Zak? Form Zakbans? Maybe. And then we can let's push these guys. Let's see. I got 3 movement points, so let's make sure they can make it there. 1, 2, 3. Yep. They're infantry, so only 1 movement point to enter woods. We could send these guys. Let's send these guys up with them. And then we can have all of this can stack together for a big Mongo stack to hit that guy with. And then actually, if these guys do project a zone of control and can form Zakbans, these guys are now surrounded and cannot retreat. So maybe we can get a little licking in here before we lose. All right. Up here, I guess we still try to hold that. They're not going to try anything there, I don't think. And we're about the best we can do here. 5 in that hex and 4 in this hex. Did manage to at least knock this unit down to cadre last turn with an exchange result. Yeah, I think that's about good enough. So for combats, definitely here. I don't know. What do we attack? What do we even attack here? Is there any? That's 10, 11. Plus 3 is 14. We have 16. Oh, but we're across a river there. So it'd be halved. Do get a troop quality shift, though. I don't know. Maybe we just try to punch. These are both, 2 full strength regiments. So 13 there, 14 there. Actually, plus, what are they in? Mixed. So 16. Yeah, 16 there. This one's actually 17 then, right? 12. No. Or they're in, they're in Bocage. So they're 12, 15. They're 18. So that we wouldn't want to attack them. I guess here, 12, 13, 14, 15. That would be a 1-to-1 attack with a troop quality shift. And think anywhere else we want to bother with, do we? It'll be 6 against 10. Yeah, I think that's probably it. All right, what do we have? We have 2 Cherbourg. Let's see, this guy's still in range. Yeah, there's a headquarters there. I believe they can still provide support even when they're disrupted. Let me confirm that. No, they cannot. Disrupted HQs or warfare brigades may not provide artillery shifts or defensive support. So, looks like they're on their own with a 1-to-1 attack there. Well, 2-to-1 because of the troop quality shift. So let's resolve that. 2-to-1 4 is a DR. We're okay. Actually, you know what? I wonder if we should have pushed up into that hex with these guys. I think we could have. Yeah, these guys came from. Yeah, let's say they actually went there, because I think that puts them in a bit of a pickle supply-wise. Not that it's going to matter, but. So their only option to retreat is back to here again and become disrupted. I don't see any reason to try determined defense. So that's that one. Didn't really accomplish anything, I don't think, but I guess. Oh, wait a minute. What if we... Oh, they still got that block there, though. I was going to say if we advanced with 1 unit, that would open up this portion of it at least, but they still got it blocked here and here. But, yeah, let's say they did that. Yeah, because otherwise this is a Zachbahn. We can't advance into a Zachbahn like that since we're advancing into the defender's hex, but otherwise these guys would have been out of supply. Now at least they are in supply. So that would be the smart thing to do there, I guess. Playing as if we would be continuing on. So here we've got, let's see, I'm sure it's 1-to-1 initial odds. Oh yeah, they got a bunch here. So they're at max, I think, of 14, 15, 16. Yeah, and then the woods gives them 3, I think. So they're at 18. We're at over 18 as well. So I should straighten all this up. No tank shift, troop quality shift though, yes. And so it's going to be a 2-to-1. Now they in range of something that can give them support. Maybe not. Where's the nearest? Is this the nearest headquarters? Probably. And then way over here. I don't think we've got any others in between here, unfortunately. So that's going to be a straight 2-to-1 as well. With the troop quality shift. 2-1-2. is an A1DR. We'll take the hit on this guy. And now the question becomes, is this guy able to form a Zoc bond? Let's see, supplies on page 20. Supply, minus supply, out of supply penalties. Units bearing. So in combat, it has its combat strength halved when attacking. Must use tactical movement and may not be placed into reserve for movement restrictions. Cannot begin building an IP, but can complete one. Replacements, they must be in supply to receive replacements. Whether they have an OOS marker on them doesn't really affect that. So if they got an OOS marker, but were able to get back into supply, they could receive replacements. Out of supply units retain their full defense strength, Zoc effects, TQ, and armor. Yeah, so this guy's surrounded, so he's going to have to attempt a determined defense. We'll make the one of the infantry regiments, I guess, the lead unit, so we can keep our armor. They're in other. They can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can get support from this headquarters. Yeah, why not? So they get a +1 on the determined defense roll. Three becomes 4, not quite good enough. Whoops, just destroyed a stack. They needed a 5. So now they can do, since they have at least 2 steps, and if they were forced to retreat, they would be eliminated. So they can lose 2 steps and cancel their retreat. Well, we got some units that can take replacements now. Some infantry units. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to do it then for the German side of the turn. No reserve movement, no reserve combat, recovery. So all these units lose their disruption markers. Oop, not us. This one loses its replacement marker. There's a disruption under here. Yep. I knew there was one over here. Just grabbed the wrong one. Come on, get back together. Straighten up. Is anyone over here? Yeah, someone under here was disrupted. All right. I think that's it for recovery. For supply, this unit did not manage to get back into supply, so this now becomes an OOS2 marker. I believe everyone else is okie dokie. Yep, these guys managed to get back in. I mean, I think technically they could have traced supply back up this way to Cherbourg as well, so I think they were fine. Or no, they can't, because there's a Sock bond right there. That's right. So yeah, so they are now in supply though. Yeah, everyone else up there is fine. Okay, but now we have an isolation attrition roll. 18.5. We haven't had to do this for a while. Oh, also, pretty sure this where is it? There we go. This strong point is now back to being out of supply since they can't get down through here anymore. Yeah, so isolation attrition 18.5. So if they have a red out of supply marker and they're adjacent to at least one enemy unit, you have to roll a die on a 1 to 4. It's reduced 1 step. 5 to 6, no effect. So they may get eliminated here. Depending on this die roll. Nope. They stuck it out. All right. No German IPs alone in a hex. So on to the allied player turn, starting with replacements. We've got, unfortunately, these guys can't take replacements because they're not currently in supply, so they're out of luck. So I'm pretty sure there are no, I take that back. There was somebody got knocked down the cadre over here that could take a replacement. So I guess we'll do that. That was cadre B. Get him back out there, but he won't be able to do anything this final turn. That's one. I don't think there was any others. I'm not going to bother looking. And then for our British friends, they can take an infantry replacement. I think they still had, they might as well bring this guy back out of the cadre box. And I think he was hiding. Where was he hiding? Down around here somewhere, I think. There he is. Yeah, so he can come back there. That was cadre C. And he'll get a replacement marker. Make sure that's on top so they know not to try to attack anybody. That's that. Reinforcement or movement phase, which is when we'll get our reinforcements. Again, we're just going to spend them on shifts. And let's see. Do we want to wreak any havoc over here? I think we're content with what we got there. I think we do want to hit Khan again just for funsies. We'll try this again. What do we have here? 6, 11. Yeah, because these can be, make them the main assault force with them attached. So they're 11, have this, but it's still 1. So that's 12 against 4, 5, 10. So that'll be a 1-to-1 initial odds. And I think we did, what did we do? These guys attacked this hex, right? They have 5, 9, 10, 15. We are down now to 12, 14. Ugh. Like that. Here we've got 9 plus 5 is 14. We've got 12. These guys could pitch in, I guess, or these guys. Here we can use them to help with this attack, I guess. So yeah, these are all, oops, that doesn't go on there. This does. These are all just going to be 1-to-1 attacks, initial odds. I don't think we really need to worry about anything else. And then, of course, the Americans will hit this guy again. Then what do we want to do over here? We should probably try to free these guys. Get them back into supply at least. So we hit this hex, I guess, with these. 6, 12, 14 against 6, 7, 8. Not quite. 2-to-1. Guess technically these guys could move here and they could help at half strength. Yeah, we got that cut there, so I don't really do anything about that. And then I think the only other thing is, do we want to hit Cherbourg again? I'd say yes. So we need to get this guy out of here. And I guess we can afford to, actually we can do this. Let's move him into this spot. Move this guy into here, and he can give us a +1 on that attack. We're not in danger of hitting our 7 limit for cadre, so it's going to be 12. Oh, this guy's halved actually, because he's not part of the math. So that's 9 plus another 9 is 18. So we're at our max of 18 against 2, 4, and they can't get more than 4 DCBs, so 8. So 18 to 8. It's going to be a 2-to-1 initial attack. We will have, actually we don't even need him for the troop quality because they're both -2s, now that I think about it. But we'll go ahead and do it. Last hurrah for the 82nd Airborne. Yeah, I think that's probably it. So we got an attack here we're doing. This should be at 2-to-1 initial odds. By the time we throw all of this in to the mix. Alrighty. Now let's start up here with Cherbourg. We've got 4 shifts total, 3 artillery, 1 air. think everyone's, well, this one might not be within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to move him to here to be able to support that attack. I'm thinking one shift here. Let's see what this is going to end up being here, because we're going to have, I don't remember if they get, I don't think they get negative shifts for being, but they're only 2. And we've got 4, 8, 10. Yeah, so this is going to be a 5-to-1 attack. Actually, these guys can help out with 1 each, which would make it 6-to-1. I think that's good enough without any shifts. Yep. So we'll go ahead and roll that first. No additional support there, just a 6-to-1 attack. We'll just confirm. Nothing for the defender being out of supply, right? Nope. All right, so 6-to-1 attack. A 5 is that juicy A1D2 result. And actually, since they only have 1 step to lose, we don't have to lose a step. It basically becomes a D1. So they're gone. Which means these guys can advance back into here, which puts them back in supply. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, yes, the U.S. units can operate over here because it's only to this hex row that they have to stay on their side of the line, basically. So yeah, they'll advance to there, put themselves back in supply, and retake that town. Guess we might as well have these guys advance to here. Actually, we'll probably want to. So one of these units will actually advance here to here, so that they can stack with these. Yeah, that's better, I think. If we were going to continue playing, that would make more sense. All right. So that's still have 4 shifts. So this is going to be initial odds of 2-to-1. However, just to make sure here, so we got 29th Division with this 2nd Armored. Is that 3rd? I think it's a 2. Battalion attached. So that's 14. And then these guys are all halved, but that's going to put us way up over 18. So 18 to 6, 7, 8 is going to be 2-to-1, but then we get a tank shift, but no troop quality shift. So it'll be 3-to-1. Let's go ahead and give them an artillery shift. Let's make it 4-to-1. Ooh, 4-to-1 is an exchange. Yuck. So we will pick. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. We'll just take this so they're only down to 1 unit there. A little less flexibility. And then they will pick Yeah, you know what? I think they'll choose to get rid of some armor. Yeah, come on. We'll pick this unit. All right, unfortunately that means those guys are going to be out of supply. So we weren't able to relieve them. All right, so that leaves 3 shifts, 2 artillery, and an air shift for this attack to take it up to 5-1. Finally kick them out of there. Oh, come on. 5-1-1 is a DR. So they will attempt a determined defense, but they have -2 for their lead unit. We'll give them a artillery support to put it up to a -1. So they're in a city with a -1. 2 -1 is 1. They are forced to retreat. They will retreat to this town, 1 hex retreat. Become disrupted. Oops. Out of the shot there. They'll become disrupted, and we will advance with these guys. That gives the Allies their first Cherbourg hex finally. Cherbourg City hex. Not that they needed it. All right, over to the British. We just got our 3 attacks on Caen. Again, we want to try to do this one first, I think, to try to cut off the others from being able to retreat. So I think it was just this stack participating, right? 11, 12 against 4, 5, 10. Yeah, there's no way to get to 2-1, so might as well just do the 1 stack. I guess we could put them in reserve to give them another shot if they fail. Whoops. All right, so 1-1. We've got 4 shifts available. I think we want to give them at least 2. 3-1 gives a pretty good chance of forcing a retreat. Determined defense roll. Yeah, let's give them 2 shifts. 3-1 attack. 4. That's pretty decent. DR. Didn't make them lose anything though, unfortunately. So they will attempt a determined defense, and actually it's going to be guaranteed to succeed. Well, they may have to lose something though. So we'll make the, well, I guess we make that the lead unit. We'll do support from this Warfare Brigade. So they get a +2. So it's guaranteed to succeed. It's just, are they going to lose a step or not? Whoa, definitely not. That's going to be an AL. Whoops. There goes some stacks. AL, we'll take it on the Canadians, I guess. That failed miserably. Let me fix my blunder down here as best I can. I think these guys were there. I think that's right. Okay. Yeah, I guess next would be this one. We can potentially cut this unit off if this succeeds. We've got 3 shifts left. I think we got to give them 2 just to have a chance at doing something decent. So that'll be another 3-to-1 roll. Hopefully they can roll something better. 4, 3-to-1, 4 is a DR. Kind of hoping for that A1, D1. So again, determine defense. This unit and artillery support. We do have 1 left for 7th Army, so we'll use that. So again, a determined defense with a +2. Another AL. That was, well, I think basically all of these guys were attacking, so we'll just lose some Canadian armor, I guess. I don't know if this one makes any sense to do now. Probably not. So we'll just give them 1 more shot here during the... They have enough. 9. Yeah. No, we didn't reduce them at all, so there's less than 1-to-1 odds, so we probably won't do anything there either. We'll just call it there. Call it good. Which means reserve movement phase and combat phase. These guys aren't going to do anything. The all-important, well, first the recovery phase and then the supply phase. So recovery, we can get this disrupted off. Come on. Replacements here and here. Then, oops. Supply phase. I think everybody's good now. No, everybody's not good. Those guys are good down there, but these guys are not. They're out of supply. Everyone else is fine. Excuse me. Fine. Yep. Okay. No isolation attrition, no allied IPs in Learn and Hex, allied player is done, no desired airborne withdrawals, no automatic victory. However, we are at the end of the game. The allies have achieved their victory conditions, so we're calling this an allied win, albeit with a small asterisk because of my supply blunder over here by the Orne River, where I think these guys were fine the whole time because they could actually trace 5 hexes to here and then back, but all of these units were actually out of supply for 3 turns without me realizing it. Again, had I recognized it, I would have done something to make sure that hex was occupied. So I don't think it's a huge asterisk on the win, but an asterisk nonetheless. But I think still accomplished the goal of providing a complete playthrough for people to watch, albeit with a few mistakes here and there. So I hope everyone found it enjoyable. If you managed to stick it out all the way through all 22 episodes, I thank you. Again, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Plans for next video. I really want to get back to my Silent War campaign that I had started. I think it's been well, I've been playing this for a year, so it's definitely been over a year since I left that. I do also have the Knights over Odessa game that Dan Monette sent me a prototype of that I'd like to get a playthrough videoed. And then also I just received, well, I had from the fall sale, I got, I can't think now, Holland 44, North Africa 41, and France 40, I think. So I've got those 3 games that I'd like to get on the table at some point. And then just yesterday, Italy 43 and Stalingrad 42 showed up. So yeah, I've got quite a few games to... I don't know that I'll try full campaigns for those, given how long this one has taken. But I'd like to at least get a little bit of a look and some play of those games on the channel. But then also, I don't know how soon I'll be able to get another game to the table because we got Thanksgiving coming up. The girls are going to come over and we'll be playing games for that. So I want the table free for that. And then I've also got trying to schedule a Twilight Imperium game for in December. So I need to leave it free for that as well. So I may not actually, and then Christmas. So probably won't actually get another game to the table for the channel until beginning of next year. But we'll see what we want to do at that point. All right. Well, again, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series on the full campaign playthrough of Normandy 44. I've certainly enjoyed playing it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.